Welcome all NFL fans, everyone across the nation. This is your Week 9 preview of the NFL from As the NFL Turns, and it's by the Come On In Sports Network. I am your host, Carlos Clayton from Uneducated Sports Talk. You guys, let's rock and roll. Thank y'all for another showcasing of this episode. You guys are awesome. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you guys love all sorts of sports action, not just the NFL, but all sports action. Come on to the Come On In Sports Network. We got to offer you guys, so please hit that like button for this stream, and of course, subscribe to the channel, you guys. Thank y'all for showing love and support. You guys are freaking awesome, man. Like I said, this is Week 9, and now we have our pretenders and our contenders, right? We get a preview of that. Who's on the rise? Who's coming down to earth? We're going to break all that down, all of Week 9's action from early Sunday games to Monday night football. We got a nice slate of games for you guys, man. So thank y'all once again for showing love and support to this channel, man. Please, once again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, y'all. Hey, Week 9 is here, you guys. And I'm telling you, if you aren't in love with today's NFL or today's football, let's throw in college too, huh? Can we throw in college? I want to throw in college. Let me go ahead and wide screen for a second. I want to throw in college. I want to throw in NFL football as a whole. It just feels different this year. It feels like, although the NFL, there's a lot of quote-unquote bad teams, but there's a lot of contenders as well. And so many variables to this year that could go right or could go wrong for each team. And we're going to break all that down, man. So I'm super excited for what's to come for the rest of the NFL season. And let's check out our comments already. Who's showing love in the building already? Let's get it, man. All right, y'all, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. Thank y'all once again for showing love and support. And we got it all, man. So thank y'all. We got Twitter going on. We got YouTube, Facebook. So all the above coming in, showing love. So let's rock and roll, man. We got a good one. And hey, let's just get right into it, shall we? Let's get right into it. Our first game on the docket. Now, when you come down to the Dallas Cowboys, they're to talk around town, whether they're good, bad, mediocre. They're always to talk around town. And they have a big matchup as well against the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. And my issue with the Cowboys has always been this, and this year in particular, when they face a team that can go and get you 30 on any given Sunday or Monday or Thursday. And this particular year, Tuesday and Friday and Wednesday, we got football every single damn day, it feels like, for this particular year, because of the holidays. But still, any team that can score 30 plus any given day, any given game, that is the team that's going to give the Cowboys trouble, right? And the Falcons run the same offense as the Packers. The same team that beat the Cowboys in the division round last year, smashed them. The Falcons run the same offense as New Orleans Saints. The same team, when healthy, week 2, beat the crap out of the Dallas Cowboys. The Falcons run the same offense as the San Francisco 49ers, who the Cowboys just saw last week and lost to. So that's the biggest issue going on with the Cowboys team. Can they hold fort on the road against a very dangerous Atlanta Falcons team with that zone run scheme? I don't know. I lied to you guys. I do know. The answer is hell no. Once again, the Cowboys are, I'm not going to say get slaughtered, but it feels like it's disrespect. But honestly, every time the Cowboys are going up against a formidable opponent, they're basically losing by double digits. Now, that Niners game, they came back, right, and made the score somewhat manageable. But outside of that, they've been getting blown out. Name the team that beat them, they got blown out. Ravens, Saints, Lions, all blowouts to epic proportions, right? And the Niners won, but they were beating them down in that second half. But the Cowboys, had a valiant comeback. Atlanta, on the other end, right now, leaders of the NFC South. And this game could catapult them into, brighter futures as well. Atlanta, who I predict to win the division, and they're in the same division as my Saints. So that's saying a lot how I feel about this particular team. once they get on the same page. They have very, really, really good weapons on this team. I love what Falcons are doing, right? London is coming to his own. Pitts had a remarkable game on National Tight Ends Day last week, so I'm glad he got some action on National Tight Ends Day. And of course, their running game. That's the main thing. It's a dual monster with Bijan Robinson and, of course, Algier. And they are nonstop action all over every team they play. Dallas Cowboys, with no exception. Falcons will win this game. And I got them winning very comfortably. And I think it'll be another double-digit loss by the Cowboys. I'm going with Atlanta to win this game. Yo, Jeremy's in the building, by the way, y'all. My guy, Jeremy, showing love. Yo, Jeremy, what's good with it, baby?
How you doing, my man? Good to see you.
Hey, likewise, man. I almost forgot you came on for a second. I'm about to go to the next topic. Hey, who has the edge in this game? Cowboys, Falcons, man. Welcome back to the stream, brother.
I mean, you're 100% right. I don't see the Cowboys winning this game. I'm a big fan of the Falcons now that they're finally getting that offense clicking. I mean, I think it was one of those everyone kind of expected Kirk Cousins to come in and get this offense rolling right out of the gate. It's going to take time to learn that, new weapons, new scheme. But like you said, Kyle Pitts went off. I think all of us have been waiting for him. I mean, talent-wise, he's got an incredible amount of talent. I think it's one of those, it was a quarterback situation. I think now that they've got a good quarterback. I don't love Kirk Cousins. I don't hate him. I'm indifferent to him, but I think he's a very good quarterback. You're finally starting to see this team being able to gel the way it is. And like you said, with, Bijan and Tyler, you got a dual-headed monster in that running back field. I mean, I love Tyler. Again, he was a 1,000-yard rusher as a rookie, and then you go out there and you get, you've already got a BMW in the garage, and then you go out there and get a Porsche when you go pick up Bijan. So, I mean, how can you hate that offense? So, yeah, I in the Cowboys, man, I don't know. At what point do they regret, this whole Dak Prescott thing? You got to start to wonder, did Jerry Jones make the wrong call? And I know Jerry loves his people, but, boy, they're paying him a lot of money, and they're not getting what they wanted out of him right now. And I'm wondering how many people in Dallas are looking around thinking, we really screwed this one up. But, yeah, I see the Falcons all the way on this one. And, yeah, I would say a comfortable margin. I think probably 10 points is what I would say as far as this game goes. I just don't see the Cowboys being able to keep pace.
Will we say, let's just say that if we're going with our fortune teller minds and the Falcons do beat the Cowboys, is the season over for Dallas?
Yes.
At 3-5.
Yes, I think so. Because look, at this point, you're losing to teams that you should have been able to beat or at least be competitive with. If they lose by double digits to Atlanta, I think the season's pretty much toast at that point. And then what gets interesting is, what do you do with Dak? There's all this talk, and I'm still a believer in Trey Lance, much like I was Malik Willis. And Malik Willis did not prove me wrong once he went to Green Bay. But I think there's something with Trey Lance, and I feel like at some point, when do you take a chance to see what you got with that kid? He never really had an opportunity.
I would agree with you on that if they didn't give Dak his money just this past, half a season ago. So if that would have happened, my thing is okay, do you trade Prescott? Or that's the only way you can get Trey Lance in there is to trade Prescott, because you're not going to bench Prescott for Lance.
You're not going to trade him. No one's going to eat that contract at this point. That's the other thing they did. They kind of shot themselves in the foot, because now you got this bloated contract, and nobody wants a average quarterback for that kind of money in this league, especially when you can just go and do like what the Commanders did. Go draft somebody, get them on the cheap, and next thing you know, you've got, Jalen Daniels or I'm not going to necessarily say Caleb Williams. I'm not sure where I still stand with him yet. But, you go draft a quarterback and take a shot and see what you can get on the cheap for the next couple of years.
Yeah, you're right, though. Cowboys are really putting themselves in a bind with these contracts because, they got other guys who are looking to get paid as well. Michael Parsons.
Sure.
And so what to do with that next year. But, yeah, this game – when they played the Giants and when they played the Steelers, those are two teams when they won those games. Those are two teams that can't score 30 on any given day, right? And I think the Cowboys are more aligned to beating those kind of teams that have a hard time scoring as to playing teams that can just outright score any given Sunday, right? So I think we're on the same page. We both got Dallas getting stumped in this thing pretty much. Cowboys fans. It's gonna be a long road, baby. It's a long freaking road. It's gonna be a long road, man, for them to get some things going right now. Let's see. All right, y'all. Let's go to our next game on the docket. ladies and gentlemen. If I can find my spot, boom, there we go. There we go. All right, we've got the Denver Broncos taking on the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. Your thoughts on Ravens and Broncos? Do the Broncos make it an interesting game, and do the Ravens, how they react to last week's loss against the Browns?
Man, I'm actually excited for this game. I can't believe I'm saying that. If you would have asked me this 3 weeks ago, I've been like, no, not at all. But Bo Nix is starting to come into his own. And granted, now maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here. I get excited. I get emotional about these things, but I'm really liking the way Bo Nix is starting to run this offense. I love the fact Courtland Sutton was so involved. I mean, they let Judy go. Courtland Sutton, a couple of weeks ago had no receptions, no targets. He was basically invisible. And now you see him starting to come into his own again. And I'm just starting to wonder, is Bo Nix really that good? Is he really that good? You got a great coach over there who's coached some amazing quarterbacks over the years. And maybe Bo Nix really is the answer. Like maybe Russell Wilson was meant to go, which I don't disagree with their move on that necessarily. I mean, good for him and Steelers, but man, I don't know. And honestly, like, look, I got to root against the Ravens. I'm a Bills fan, right? Like, I got to root against Lamar and the Ravens. I want Josh Allen to be the MVP this year, so I've got to go against the Ravens any chance I can get. And honestly, I'm still salty about that game. So for me, I want to see the Broncos win. But the logic in me tells me it's going to be the Ravens, and because they're a mighty talented team. You got Derrick Henry back there. They're at home. I'm not still 100% sold on Denver as much as they're starting to impress me and gel. I think the Ravens, just on paper and overall, are a better team, and they're home, and it's hard to root against them when they're there.
Right. No, I agree. Ravens being at home makes the biggest difference. But I also agree with you as the Broncos are gelling. The last 4 or 5 weeks, you can tell the progress from each position, especially the quarterback position, and he's getting more comfortable as the NFL goes, or as the NFL turns,
Yep.
But yeah, I like what I'm seeing from this Broncos team. I just hope they make it competitive. But the Ravens, after a loss, are not the easiest team to beat. After an L, they come back and stump mud holes in people. And I think the Ravens will just a little bit of KISS mentality, keep it stupid simple.
Yep.
And then you should win this. I've always said outside of Kansas City, and even that, when the Ravens lose, they tend to really beat themselves.
Yes.
They've blown so many 4-quarter double-digit leads, and just the little things that go along with it, turnovers at the wrong time or unfortunate drops we saw last week against Cleveland that could have changed the game. And who knows? But yeah, I'm going with the Ravens after a loss to the Browns. They're pissed off at home, and I'm just hoping the Broncos can make it competitive, because that's a game that look, Broncos could sneak in as a wild card team. You never know with this NFL season going on in the AFC. Broncos could be a 7th seed sneaking in there.
It's possible. I mean, I don't think you're crazy on that logic at all. I mean, I think there's a couple front runners, right? Ravens, Chiefs, Bills. I think right now look like far and away head and shoulders above the rest, but there's a lot of really good teams after that all are competitive, that could have a shot at sneaking in and making it a really interesting playoff scenario.
40 the rapper says Bo Nix about to shred them up. What's up, 40? Good to see you. We got Jinwei Belandres as well, showing love. What's up, my guy? Jinwei's in the building, and we got the beautiful Anne Marie Elizabeth Rose Valowski says good morning, Carlos, moderators, and everyone. What is up, Anne? How you doing, love? Always welcome to Come On In Sports Network. This is As the NFL Turns, hosted by myself, Carlos Clay from Educated Sports Talk. And of course, we got our main man, Jeremy's in the building from Beware the Stampede. Y'all go check out his channel as well. Hit that subscribe button to Jeremy's channel. All right, y'all. So we got Ravens pretty much smacking the Broncos. Not a smacking, but I mean, I'm hoping it's a competitive game. But I got Ravens with them. I don't see a scenario where the Ravens actually lose this game and lose back-to-back games. Look, they're already behind in their own division. The Steelers are just, doing what Mike Tomlin does, is win games, baby. And right now they're looking at the Steelers currently in the AFC North, so they want to get back on track because those Bengals and even the Browns to a certain extent, they got some life in them. I'm just saying, Browns only 2 wins right now, but they're a team that if they can gel right, they can make some moves. So Ravens got to get these kind of wins against lower tier teams, in my opinion. All right. Hey, Jimmy, I'll let you take the lead on this dog. We got Dolphins versus Bills. You know that Jimmy is the biggest Bills fan in the world, man. Right now, they got the Bills -5.5 against Tua Tagovailoa led Miami's Dolphins team, who came off a loss to Arizona. Buffalo is still doing their thing. When everyone thought they would have a bad season, guys like myself thought this is still a playoff team, and they also had the role of keeping it stupid simple. Now that Stephon Diggs is out the way and a lot of that BS is gone too, they can get to business. How do you feel about Buffalo at home against Miami, brother?
I mean, I love it. It's a beautiful day here in Western New York. Sun is shining. It's going to be mid-50s. Perfect day for afternoon football. Tua comes back. There's the X factor. You know, one is Tua going to make it through a whole game. You know, I think my personal opinion, I think he's crazy for continuing to play. That's just me. I mean, I get it, but health is one thing, and I worry about the guy first and foremost. But for me, the Bills should take this game. I think it'll be interesting because Tua's back, and it's a very different offense when he's in there. Overall, I'm sure Tyreek Hill is, you know, just more than excited to have him
yes,
back.
yes,
because he has been non-existent on that team ever since he's been out. I'm more excited for the Bills this year than I thought I was going to be going into it, to be honest. With Stephon Diggs leaving, Gabe Davis, who I love, being gone, you know, I really had to wonder. You got James Cook, you had Dalton Kincaid, Shakir, but it's like, okay, where's this all going to come from? Who's going to be the next guy to step up? Keon Coleman's looked really good as of late.
yes.
Amari Cooper coming over. I mean, basically on a rent-to-own contract for the rest of the year for what, $850,000? Like the number one receiver. I love it. I mean, it's funny because you look at the Jets and they're like, oh, well, we're going to go get Devontae Adams and pay him a fortune. It's like, well, we'll go get Amari Cooper and pay him next to nothing. And we all see how that's working out with the Jets right now, which is not great for them. And honestly, this is our division to lose at this point. You know, when you look at it, nobody on this division, I thought maybe the Jets and the Dolphins could be competitive. They just have not shown up at all this year. I don't see that changing today. I think Josh Allen's going to have another great day, as he's shown. You know, he's pushing that MVP conversation again this year. I hope he gets it. Like, I think he's deserving of it. It drives me nuts that Patrick Mahomes, even though they're undefeated with the amount of interceptions he's had, is still in that conversation. Because I don't think he's better than Lamar or Josh at this point. I mean, yes, they're undefeated, but his numbers don't reflect, you know, that type of level of play that you'd expect from an MVP.
Right. That undefeated record is more towards the team itself overall, especially that defense playing lights out as they've been doing.
So, yeah, I see Bills all the way in this one. I'm thinking they're going to easily cruise to this by at least 9. Honestly,
okay.
I don't see the Dolphins keeping up.
I agree with the win. The Bills the win. Maybe Dolphins do kind of keep it close a little bit. Maybe first half kind of scare you a little bit. That's how it usually goes with Tua and them. Those guys. Look, they got their weapons back. Tua looked okay last week against Arizona, albeit they should have won that game. I don't know how the hell they let Arizona come back and win, but that's football.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray, man. Kyler is, boy, he's Mr. Up and Down, boy. He's a top 5 quarterback some days, and some days he's a below.
Maybe comeback player of the year this year, potentially. Who can say?
Yeah, you never know, man. You never know. He has a couple more big games in him this year. He could probably get that for sure. I'm going Buffalo to win this game at home. That team is rock and rolling. And look, I always tell folks, when you're in the NFL, everyone's talented. So when the Bills lost a ton of their players on defense this past off season, I was like, well, it doesn't matter because let's be real, there weren't really too many big name guys on Buffalo's team anyways. It was more of the defensive scheme that made the Bills a turnover machine.
But you had Matt Milano, and everyone, including myself, got real nervous when Milano went down. And go figure, Dorian Williams from good old Tulane, has stepped up huge this season.
And then so you get new guys coming in, but they follow the scheme. And the scheme so far has looked brilliant. There is no big name guy per se on this Bills roster right now on defense. But once again, just like previous years, they're up there top 5, top 10 in turnovers, takeaways as a defense. And look, on offense, they're going to the basics. They're running the ball a lot more with James Cook, not depending on Josh Allen to throw the ball 45 plus times a game anymore. He's not putting on that Superman cape. You want that for the playoffs. But as far as the regular season goes, I mean, James Cook is playing lights out. Even when he goes down, a guy like Ray Davis comes in there, has a phenomenal game a couple weeks ago. So this Bills team with Keon Coleman as the rookie coming in, and of course, Dalton Kincaid. I love what they're doing, just keeping it stupid simple, not putting all your chips on just one player. They can now spread it out to multiple guys. The Bills look like you said you liked them more than previous years. I like them more than previous years as well. This could be the year they can quietly get to another AFC Championship game if they play their cards right.
I certainly hope so, because man, I've been waiting for that again, and I'll tell you, it's one of those. It's like at some point we got to have Patrick's number, right? Like either he needs to not be there, or we just need it. We need to beat him in the postseason. Regular season's great, but it's not the postseason when it matters.
We got Chantel Pinton in the building. Sean Love, what's up, Chantel? How you doing? Always good to see you.
Obviously a Bills fan and clearly knows her football well. So
yeah, she said Buffalo wins this. We will all agree with you on that one. Let's talk about the AFC South right quick. We got some teams in here. The Houston Texans, Colts, Jaguars, Titans. I want to talk about the Colts situation with Anthony Richardson. I know that was a big topic of the last week where he just kind of tapped out and said, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take a crucial play off. I had to remind folks.
We're going on the 19th with
we got some folks in the building.
Striking this company.
And we got Dolph in the building.
Extend across 16 other locals.
What's up, Dolph?
They want to mess with these guys here.
We got Coach Rock as well.
Takes their power that people don't realize. 16 locals are going to stand up and walk out in conjunction with the.
All right, cool. So Dolph will be left alone for a second, y'all. All right, Jeremy, we're back at it, man. I want to get your opinion as we welcome Coach Rock in the building. Sean Love, what's up, Coach?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, Coach.
Coach, I want to get your opinion as well. I'm gonna start off with you first, Coach, about Anthony Richardson. Crucial play. It was second down and long. He had a big run. He ran about maybe 4 or 5 yards, but also ran that particular play was probably about 20 yards. He gets tackled. He gets up past that old helmet. Says, "Hey, I need a break, man, on third down, a crucial third down." And this is a big game against them and the Texans for maybe the division at this point. What is your thought? Because now he got benched. He's benched, and his future is looking very low for the Colts. What is your whole thought on that? On that situation with Richardson kind of tapping out? What kind of message it sends to your team? How do you feel about that? Is it too old school mentality, or is it one of those he's still young, let it ride out? What's up?
Nah, man. If you notice, after Coach Rock, you notice the game has changed on my intro and everything. I mean, it just has changed to where we've catered to these young people. We've changed the games to now it's more about them than it is the coaches and everybody else. And I mean, he's just a product of what's going on, man. We babyfy these kids. We let them get away with too much now. And I'm more than sure that's not the first time he did that. That's the first time it's just been a coach grabbed it and dealt with it, And I really just, the game has just changed so much. So we cater to them so much now, man. We made the game softer, and we just cater too much to these young players, man. It's just about, whatever they want to do, they do now.
Yeah. How about you, Jeremy?
I mean, it's unfortunate. I think Anthony Richardson has a ton of natural talent, and we've seen that with a lot of players in this league over the years, right? He can be a dual threat when he figures it out. The biggest knock against him was his experience, and I think a moment like that just goes to show the lack of experience. Like I get you're tired, right? Everybody gets tired at some point when they played sports, right? We all did, but to take yourself out of a game, it's one of those things. It's a bad look, and at this level, it's like, look, man, you figure it out, right? Call a draw play, hand it off to the running back, like whatever you need to catch your breath. But to take yourself out of the game like that, it's a bad look as a rookie quarterback to the team you're trying to lead. That's right now in contention, right? And I think this is one of those growth moments. I do agree. I don't think the Colts are necessarily giving up on him. I think this is a moment for him to sit on the sidelines, learn and grow, right? Anytime you get thrust into the limelight that quickly, we've seen it happen with other quarterbacks. Look at Sam Darnold, right? Thrown in with the Jets. He's had some time to sit back and learn a little bit, and he's been doing great things in Minnesota this year. I think Anthony Richardson's in a similar boat. Let him sit on the sideline. Let him learn from a guy like Joe Flacco, who is an incredibly good backup quarterback and was a great starting quarterback in his heyday, and learn a few things. And I think that's one of those growth moments that he's going to take from this and learn and grow and realize, like, hey, you've got to be the leader. You've got to be that guy that's stepping up. So I don't think it's a terrible thing for him. I think it's one of those, he needs to step back and learn. And I think this was a good call on the coaching staff to let Joe lead this team. You're still in contention. He's going to give you the better shot to win right now. And honestly, he's going to teach Anthony Richardson hopefully a lesson that he's going to learn from that. He's going to carry with him the rest of his career.
Yeah. I have a question, guys. I have a question I want to impose on both of y'all. Anthony Richardson has been playing football all his life.
Yes.
And you don't think there's been times when he had to make a lot of runs, a lot of scrambles, a lot of plays, and just this particular time he just tapped out? Why? And I'm more than sure he don't play it in games when he been amped, tired, exhausted, et cetera, and there's just one moment where he just got immature and he just tapped out to come out.
Here's my thing. So I think a week or two ago, he had something similar, and he was dog tired. He had a run, he was dog tired, and the next play he fumbled the snap, right? And I'm pretty sure there may have been a conversation, hey, if you're that damn tired and you feel like you're gonna do something stupid in the line of scrimmage, take yourself out. I don't know. But the position that he plays, that is a position of leadership. They want you to be like your head coach, right? Embody your head coach, but also you got to embody your quarterback too. And if they're seeing, well, this guy can tap out anytime he wants to, I can tap out. I agree with Jeremy. I agree with both of y'all, first of all, but I agree with Jeremy. He says, good call by the coaching staff. Get his ass out of there. Let him sit down and learn, because not only I can see if he had some great stats to follow what's going on, but he's below 50% in completion percentage, man. His third down conversion is horrible. He's one read and done, but also you got to blame the coach too. The coach knew what they were getting with this guy when they picked him number 4 overall. 1 year of football in college, excuse me. You knew that he was raw. You knew he was inexperienced, and you knew his percentage completion, even in college, was horrible. You knew that. So make your bed and lay in it. Look, as far as you being 22 years old and you're tapping out already, I don't like that sign at all. Like you said, Jimmy, earlier, take a draw play. It was 3rd and 20 anyways. Take a draw play or something, but you don't tap out and come in. But Joe Flacco, pro, been there, done that. It feels like every time the last couple of years now with the Browns and now with the Colts, when he's in there, their teams look relatively better and more experienced and ready to go with him per se as Richardson, who's more of a running style quarterback. But I like the coach saying, you know what, I hope they're not giving up on him, because he is a great talent. But you also got to send that message to your entire team. We are not going to stand for those kind of shenanigans, on top of that. So tough thing going on in the coach, but I think at 4-4, they're looking like we have a chance to make the playoffs. Hell, win the division too. We're only a game and a half back of Houston. We have a chance to win this division. We can't mess around by putting Richardson in. And one more thing before we go to the next topic. I'm hating the fact that the NFL is so quick to turn on people. Mind you, that 2022 draft class, they are about all gone on different teams or even out the NFL. And that's 2 years ago, right? So they want a C.J. Stroud. They want a Jaden Daniels. Those things don't happen all the way. Peyton Manning in 1998 threw 28 interceptions his rookie season, but they stuck with him. Or how about go the Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love route? Sit his ass down for a couple of years. Even Pat Mahomes, who we all call now probably the greatest of all time, he sat a year under Andy Reid and learned, and he didn't get thrust into it from day one. So I think a lot of these guys, especially raw projects like Richardson, you just can't throw those kind of guys in there from day one, expecting to win you 10 games. This isn't a Stroud situation or even a Jaden Daniels situation. Those things don't happen too often. So it's a tough road, but I think the Colts will be much better right now with Flacco as their quarterback going in, man. But like Coach said, man, I mean, I can't explain it. Coach, when you ask me like what's his mentality, what's he thinking, I can't explain it.
Because the kids play so much football, man. Like I say, I'm more than sure he's had to make a lot of runs, strolls, play after play after play, to where he's been tired. And just for him to just tap out that instance just was weird, because he's played so much football, and I know he's been exhausted before.
Well, I mean, I would have just lied. I mean, I lost my wind or something. Something. Just I'm like, yeah, I was tired. And the way he said it so nonchalant was probably rubbed the coaches the wrong way too. And that's why he probably is on that bench now, on that pine with the old ball head coach. So I don't know, man. That's somehow I can't really explain on that one. All right, let's go to our next game on the docket, though, man. We got oh Lord, Saints versus Panthers, you guys. We can quickly go through this because both these teams ain't doing a damn thing this year. I got Saints winning just because I just think on paper they're just a slightly better team right now. And the Panthers, they went back with Bryce Young, and one thing the Saints have had is Bryce Young's number. In the 3 games we played against Bryce over the last 2 years, we have dominated that matchup. I'm going to New Orleans to win this game. That's the only team I think right now in the NFL we can beat. So how about you, Coach?
I'm going whatever the concession stand selling good, man. Whatever concession stands got good.
Let's go. What about you, Jeremy?
I got to pick one of these teams. I guess I'm going with the Saints. I mean, on paper, they're the better team. This is one of those games. I mean, I know y'all know you're a Saints fan and all, but man, it's not going to be a fun game to watch.
Oh, it's not. Oh, it's not. You were right.
But I'm going to go with the Saints just because I think they're the better team. I think Bryce Young's still trying to find his way. I think there's some talent on Carolina. I don't think it's like a completely disaster of a team. I don't see them winning this game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Carolina, I'll be there at home, but Bryce Young is, hopefully he learned from sitting down. But even last week when he started, it was the same old pretty much. So it pretty much tells you where this Panther squad is going, which is pretty much nowhere, and probably going for another top-tier quarterback in next year's draft, unfortunately, for that team. But, yeah, we all agree the Saints should win this game. But, hey, Coach, let's just throw in our future caps right now. If Saints lose to the Panthers, the storyline for Dennis Allen is what?
Him and Mickey Loomis gone.
I agree. Saints lose to the Panthers. I agree on both too. I was about to say Mickey Loomis and Dennis Allen both gone. You can't lose to the Panthers. If you lose we had the discussion this week, and I really think I know it's a lot of people jumped on me that Miss Gail Benson needs to think about really selling the Saints to another local group or owner, somebody that can just strip this whole thing down with more football knowledge. And, Mickey Loomis has been around about 18 years now as a GM. That's a long time. And, I mean, I think you look at the draft classes, none of them have panned out in the last 3 years. So it's been lack of talent somewhat on this team. So I really think this team just needs, from the owner perspective, starting at a new ownership and just trickle all the way down to me, man, to be honest with you. Yeah, I feel you on that. Yeah, I agree. If Saints somehow loses the game, I mean, regardless, I think DA's been supposed to have been gone a long time ago. I don't know. They're holding on to something. I don't know what it is, but they're holding on to something with DA.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are in agreement. Saints should win this game against Carolina. Let's go to our next game, y'all. Raiders versus Bengals. Now you look at the Bengals. Unfortunate situation right now. They got a long road to climb, and we didn't expect this from a healthy Joe Burrow-led Bengals team because we've all been accustomed to, hey, Joe Burrow's healthy. They go to the AFC Championship. They go to Super Bowl, right? Joe Burrow's hurt. They don't. So I don't know what's you guys' thoughts on Bengals and Raiders and who wins this game. What you thought?
I'll take it, I guess.
Go ahead, Jeremy. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, Bengals. I mean, for them, we talk about Joe Burrow being a living die guy. I think it's the receiving core. You got to have T. Higgins and Jamar Chase out there. Obviously, the running back room's still a mess with Zach Moss and Chase Brown. They're still trying to figure out who's the starting running back, who's taking more carries. And I feel like week to week, that's just running back by committee, which you do what you got to do. Neither of them are particularly stellar. But when you don't have Higgins, you don't have Chase in there, I think that is really tough for them to overcome. Those are their main go-to guys and their weapons. And yeah, Joe Burrow's important, but when those guys are out, they just cannot find an offense for anything on that team. The Raiders haven't impressed me yet. Maybe Desmond Ridder gets a chance to play this week and try and revive his career, now that he's in there. So maybe this is his opportunity where he'll get a shot, depending on how that game plays out. But for me, either way, the Bengals are going to win this game. I don't see the Raiders keeping pace on that team right now, especially with Adams gone.
What you, Coach?
Yeah, I'm going with you guys. Right? I'm going with the Bengals on this. The Bengals should win this game.
Yeah, too much talent for this team to be almost 4 games below 500, whatever it is. Too much talent, man, and you gotta wonder if they do find a way to. Let's say they lose this game, man. I mean, panic mode like crazy in Cincinnati, and what do you do with Joe Burrow? Because although Joe Burrow's stats looking good this year, they're not. I mean, they're not playing well.
Daddy, do you know the face fragments? My mom told me to wash my face and brush my teeth and change that she needs to. I need to brush my teeth.
Hold on, y'all. Yeah. So, is panic sitting in for Bengals to lose this game right now? If you're part of Bengals culture right now, what is the mindset for the rest of the season?
Survive.
It's not good.
It's not good. Said it's not good. I got Bengals also win this game. They just have to. The Raiders, like you said, no Adams. They're shutting themselves. They're still trying to find a way in. Ritter is going to be starting, I believe, in this game. Like you said, maybe he can rejuvenate his career. But we all saw it in Atlanta. I don't know. Bengals better win this game, and they're at home too. No excuses for this game to be lost for Cincinnati. Chargers versus Browns. I do like this matchup. I think both teams are kind of eerily similar in ways, and now they have the upstart from famous Jameis Winston. So he had a big win over Baltimore last weekend, and the Browns now their second win, and they said, hey, we still believe in Cleveland. Chargers beat down the New Orleans Saints, so they're one of those teams that are still vying for playoff positioning. Who wins this game, Jeremy?
Chargers? I say that like I'm not sure because I'm not sure. Because Jameis Winston, man, the guy still got it. Like the Browns' biggest problem is like kind of like Dallas. I feel like right now they've got a quarterback that they're paying a whole lot of money to that's just not producing. Right, that for them, unfortunately, is going to cause them a lot of anger and heartache again for years to come. I think. I like Jameis Winston. I always have. I think he's a good quarterback. I think, he's got a chance to step in on a talented team. I mean, their roster on paper is great and have an opportunity to do something. I like the Chargers in this. I like the new and improved version 4.0 maybe of J.K. Dobbins this year finally. Seeing what his talent level is when he can stay fully healthy. Knock on wood, he still stays healthy. And you still got Herbert back there. So I think the Chargers, but I think this is going to be an exciting game. I think this is going to be a tight, exciting game. I'm actually looking forward to this one.
Who'd you pick, Coach?
I want Jameis to do really good. I really love Jameis, but I'm going with the Chargers. I lost respect for the Browns fans after last week, man, with the Deshaun Watson whole fiasco, man. I just lost. I thought that was one of the lowest points in sports that I had ever seen, man. So I have no respect for the Browns organization at all. I'm going with the Chargers. I'm just a Brown hater now. But I want Jameis to be successful. I love Jameis Winston, man. I really do. I'm just a hater of the Browns.
I feel you. I'm going Cleveland. I'll be the lone wolf. I think Cleveland wins this game. Close game, though. Close game. I think the Chargers are one of those teams. I don't ever see the Chargers getting blown out because of their style of play. So this will be a close game. And let me go Cleveland just on the fact that I think momentum with Jameis Winston is going to carry them while they're at home. So, we'll find out about these two teams. Let's go to our next division, and let's talk about the AFC North, right? Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson and company. Coach, I was first to apologize to Mike Tomlin because I had the Steelers winning a total of 5 games this year. And for the first time in my life, I doubted Tomlin. I did for the first time ever, and I regret it instantly. They right now are 6-2 atop of the AFC North, man. What's going on in Pittsburgh? What's the feel good story right now in Pittsburgh, Coach?
With me, I'm still not sold on them. I think they're going to have a pretty good regular season, but I just don't see Fields your boy just when it come playoff time. I just don't see them getting Pittsburgh over the hump in the playoffs, man. But far as the season goes, I mean they're winning right now. That's all you can ask for your quarterbacks to do. So kudos to them winning, but I just don't see when it come playoff time. I just don't see it with them with the quarterbacks.
Man, I tell you what, though, interesting stat. The Steelers have only had 2 games in the last 4 years of 400 plus yards. And those 2 games came back-to-back weeks with Russell Wilson, which is crazy. It tells you how quarterback does make a difference in the NFL. Look, their schedule does get tough towards the end. So it's paramount they win these games right now because the last 6 or 7 games, a gauntlet of a schedule for Pittsburgh. So right now you have to win these kind of games at this moment. And Russell Wilson over your boy from Chicago Fields, I was skeptical. I'm not gonna lie, because you were winning. You're 4-2, and I get it, but that was me from the outside looking in. But I understand inside looking out, you're like Tomlin, like, yeah, I got Russell Wilson here for a reason. I have to see what's up. And yeah, you're right on that, Coach Rod. They might not have enough talent to make a deep playoff run, but they do have the talent to make the playoffs. And I think that's what you want. You just want to make the playoffs and then let your chips fall where they fall. And it would be nice to actually have a home game for the first time in forever if you're Pittsburgh, right?
Ooh, that cold, that cold weather.
Because I mean, but they've gone the last 3 or 4 years, 5 years, as a wild card team on the road, going against Kansas City and stuff like that. So you probably change your fortunes if you're at home. Maybe that's looking ahead. This team still has a tough schedule, but I do like Pittsburgh. But I don't think they win the division. I think Baltimore. At the end of the day, on paper, the Ravens, I've always said the best team in the league. On paper, the Ravens are the best team in the league. So, explain who wins the division. Who do you guys? Steelers or Ravens? I'm coming right back.
I'm gonna go Baltimore, Jeremy, on this one, man. I think Baltimore and adding Johnson over from Carolina is another receiving threat. I really like Baltimore to win this division.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you on that one, Coach. I mean, that was a great move for them. You obviously got Flowers over there. Yeah. But adding another receiving threat, that is something I feel like that team's kind of lacked outside of, if you look at Mark Andrews kind of stepping into that role, it's more of a receiving tight end than anything. But yeah, I'm with you on this one. I am surprised by the Steelers. I'm not sure I would have put in Russell Wilson. Right. But hey, Mike Tomlin's still coaching that team this many years for a reason. He's, always had a winning record. And there's a reason for it. So I'll eat my words on that one. I thought it was a little crazy, but he proved me wrong on that for sure so far.
Yeah. I say the same thing too, man. I didn't expect him to be here, but like Carlos said, that schedule is going to get tougher down the stretch. So we're going to see. We'll see.
But he's looked like the Russell Wilson of old rather than the Russell Wilson of Denver. That's for
sure. Yeah.
All right, let's go on to our next game on the docket, you guys. We got the Washington Commanders, the Miracle Commanders from last week. Jaden Daniels, man, if that game last week doesn't tell you how special this kid is, I don't know what can say that. They faced their rivals in the NFC East, the New York Giants. Who you got in this game, you guys?
I'm gonna go with the Commanders, man. I love the kid, Jay Daniels. I'm going with Washington in this one.
How about you, Jim?
Yeah, I'm going Commanders. I mean, I'm not Daniel Jones just isn't doing it for me. And honestly, that team, there's some talent there, but not enough for me to believe in them the way I can believe in Washington right now.
Hey, it's funny because if you guys watched the Hard Knocks episodes of the management, right? That was this past season, the off-season episode, and the Giants were really pitching hard to try and get Jaden Daniels. They knew it would be a long shot, but in conversations you heard between head coach and GM, they was like, if we can't get any receivers or if the quarterback fell on laps, who do you want? And they were on the money, all in agreement. We want Jaden Daniels. There was no Caleb Williams, no Drake May. They said we want Jaden Daniels. He's the best quarterback in this draft. And it's funny how they tried for a split second to get a conversation with Washington to maybe trade up for Jaden Daniels. Washington was having none of it. They wound up getting the Commanders, and look at this incredible season. Daniels already 1-0 against New York. I'm with you guys, 2-0. I got the Commanders beating the Giants, and the Giants are going to regret everything they've done with Daniel Jones. And to make y'all laugh, I said this already, if you ever watched the Hard Knocks episodes of the offseason with the Giants, the GM, he makes it known the first episode, I was not part of the Daniel Jones trade. He doesn't say it in an evil way, but he lets you know I wasn't part of that. I wasn't here when Daniel Jones got his his payday. So I find that very interesting, how that went down, and now they face each other twice a year. So, but I like this. I like this Commanders team, and they're a scary team. They're a scary team for anyone. Like whoever has to play this, they're loose, they're free. Daniel Snyder is no longer there as the owner, and that makes a big difference in Washington culture. Daniels feels good about this situation. Dan Quinn, who is a decent head coach. I mean, he is a Super Bowl appearance coach, so he knows how to get to Super Bowl for sure. I like what I'm seeing in Washington. Give them the devil to the Giants, man.
Right.
We can quickly go through this, you guys. Patriots and Titans. Give me Titans, just cause. Just give me Titans. That's right.
I'm gonna take the Patriots on this one.
What about you, Jeremy? How you feeling?
I'm gonna go with the Patriots, even though this game's gonna be terrible. But I got to pick a team, so I'm going with the Patriots.
So you're the lone wolf again.
This game, I don't say that word often, but putrid. This game is going to be putrid, man. This game's going to be horrible, bro. I don't like both these teams. They're both vying for a top 5 pick in next year's draft. All of the Patriots did beat the Jets. The Patriots, out of these horrible teams, the Patriots might be the best horrible team in the NFL. That makes sense. So, speaking of, let's go to our AFC West division now. We've got Raiders, Chargers, Broncos, Chiefs. Y'all, do y'all realize that Pat Mahomes, and I don't know why he's an MVP talker. It's weird. Probably just because of name sake. But right now, they're 7-0, and Pat Mahomes has more interceptions than touchdowns.
Right.
That is saying a lot about this Chiefs defense. I've been telling folks over the last couple of years now, they've been very underrated. In the last 2 years, they have never given up more than 30 points at all, 30 points or more in a single game in 2 years, which is incredible because you feel like every team does at least once or twice a year, right? The Chiefs haven't done it at all in the last 2 years. I think most points scored in them was 27 in the last 2 years. But still, they're averaging their defense, I think it's 15 points per game, people are scoring. And that tells you the testament of this Chiefs team. You give Pat Mahomes weapons, yes, he's going to dice him up. You give Pat Mahomes no weapons, he does enough to win games. That's what you want from your quarterback. When will we see the next Chiefs L? Is there an L in there in sight? I know we don't have any schedules right now for the Kansas City Chiefs, but do they take an L, let's say the next 5 weeks? Like, do you see an L? Because they played so many close games.
They probably get one, but I tell you, the worst thing that happened to the NFL was letting D. Hopkins go to Kansas City.
Ooh, yes.
Man, I think once that chemistry gets between him and Pat, man, that team going to be real scary, man. That team going to be real scary.
I agree. I'm not saying D. Hops gets you 1,000 yards in the next 8 games, but D. Hops, his route running, he just needs a good quarterback. That's all he's been missing since he's joined Tennessee, since he's left Deshaun Watson, excuse me. He hasn't had a really good quarterback that throws in the football. Well, now he's got that Pat Mahomes, the best quarterback. So that combination could be scary for Kansas City.
Yeah, and not just that. If they get Lattimore out of New Orleans to put that Conda back, they can pry Lattimore out of New Orleans.
Yeah, the trade deadline is coming soon, you guys. Sooner than you think, man. So watch out for that.
Yeah, they have reached out to New Orleans on that trade.
I don't blame them. I would too. I'll reach out because Lattimore, when healthy and when motivated, he is a top 3 corner in the game.
Yeah.
So Chiefs looking scary, man. I don't. As much as I think the Chiefs are their most vulnerable, which was probably last year, and they won it all, right? This year, they're better than last year, but they're still in a vulnerable stage. But you're right, though, Coach. Even if they take an L or 2, are we really worried about Kansas City? I'm not.
Right.
Just get there in the playoffs. They say, hey, any place, any time, any schedule, any weather, we don't care. We go out there to win. I think this team is a championship built team with a championship built mentality, and I got them right now going for the 3-peat, man. Because as much as they are vulnerable, they were worse last year and still won the Super Bowl. Man. So yeah, good luck, man. Now they got D-Hop coming in, and we'll see him probably from Monday.
Tomorrow
night. Tomorrow night. Yeah. So let's go. Let's keep it with the divisions at the moment. We'll go and we'll talk AFC East already. Let's go down to NFC now. All right, a scary team out there that I think is starting to get their stride now. We'll talk about them in just a moment. I want to quickly talk about the Eagles for a second in the NFC East, man. Loving what they're doing. That was a big win against Cincinnati, which I know I think we're in unison saying the Bengals beat the Eagles. That did not happen. The Eagles showed me something for the first time since their Super Bowl run 2 years ago. Jeremy, I want to get your thoughts on Philadelphia right quick about this Eagles team, man. Do you see them being a competitive team down the stretch for the NFC?
Yes. I mean, that team still has a ridiculous amount of talent on it. I think on talent alone, that team can get over the hump if they need to. I mean, you got Jalen Hurts still, you got Devontae Smith looking great. Decent running back room. Like, they have all of the pieces to be a good offense. It's just trying to figure it out. And I feel like with Jalen Hurts, sometimes it's so up and down and almost a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde if he's going to step it up, right? You got Saquon there now. And on talent alone, I feel like this team can win any game and be in any game. It's just, can they make it happen and put it together? So I think once it all clicks and they really figure it out, I think this team is going to be a very, very, very good team. They already are, but I think they can still take another step. I think that's the thing with me with Washington. I feel like Washington's kind of where they are. They're a great team. I don't think they can get a whole lot better right now than where they are. But I feel like with the Eagles right now, they're not playing to their capability. And that's the part for me that really puts it over the top.
Is it me, or has Washington, Philadelphia, and Dallas all played the Giants, but they haven't played each other yet? Washington hasn't played Dallas yet. Eagles haven't played Washington yet. Washington hasn't played Philadelphia yet, but they've all played the Giants so far, which is crazy. So that's where things are coming to hand, especially Eagles and the Commanders when they start playing those divisional games down the stretch. I want to see how does Jaden Daniels do in a real divisional game, not against the Giants, but against the Eagles and the Cowboys. How does he fare in those kind of situations? Because that's where your money's worth now, especially Philadelphia as well. Like, let's see what you do in the division, because you're built to win the division, not become second place to a Commanders team after the first half of the season. So I'm very interested to see about this division. But the Eagles, yeah, I like them to be competitive. I like them. As long as they keep showing they can win these games and rely on Saquon Barkley. That's why you go out and get a guy like Barkley to take pressure off of your quarterback, to take pressure off of your defense as well. And so far, so good. If you're an Eagles fan, you love the price that you got. And right now, Barkley's damn near leading the league in rushing. It's funny because him and Derrick Henry, both guys that went and got their own different market and their own different teams, they're the ones that's right now leading the league in rushing. So, gotta love. We got nonfiction in the building showing love. It says, "God, do you believe Commanders can actually hold on and win the NFC East?" Well, yeah. I mean, it's going to depend on the divisional games. Right now, I'm probably going to go with Philadelphia to win the division, but it won't shock me, if the Commanders can hold their own against a team like Philly and Dallas. So right now, give me the Eagles to win the division.
Yeah, I think Washington is a little ahead of schedule this year. I'm gonna take the Eagles to win, but man, I'm telling you, in free agency in the next 2 years, what receiver wouldn't want to come play with a J.M. Daniels?
I'm telling you.
You know, so I think they're ahead of schedule, but this team, the next 2 years, Washington is gonna be fun to watch, man, with that kid.
Yeah, did you hear the reports from yesterday? I believe it said for the first time ever, pretty much in Washington, there have been rumblings that people want to go join them. Right now, the Commanders are looking at after a cornerback and a receiver. So you said Marshawn Lattimore to Kansas City. Was it probably Marshawn Lattimore went to Washington as well?
Right.
So that's going to be something to watch out for, those freaking Washington Commanders. But also, can they win division? Yes, but I really want to see them stack against Philadelphia. So I'll be curious to find out when those two teams play each other again.
But I wouldn't want to play them as a wild card team if Washington.
Oh no, hell no, not a wild card team because you're right, Jay Daniels.
See them, yeah.
Sometimes it's a bad thing, but sometimes it's a good thing when you're just young.
Yeah,
you're just young and don't know no better. Sometimes I was like, we can just play care the freak free forever, right? So you don't want to face a team that has nothing to lose, especially if you're a Washington team in a wild card situation on the road. Yeah. Here's your leaders right now. We got receiving Jamar Chase after having a slow start to the year. He's actually leading the league in receiving at 674 yards. Garrett Wilson with that amazing catch he had this past Thursday, doing a Michael Jordan logo on that catch. Justin Jefferson, of course, CeeDee Lamb, your top 4 receiving right now, looking good. For your passing yards, Geno Smith, that's basically a product of being down a lot in games. But so I don't look at pass yards and say, oh, that guy leads the lead. That means he's doing great. No, that usually doesn't mean all too much. Passing yards, sometimes, like Geno Smith's case, it could be because you're down a lot and teams just let you pass. Also with Baker Mayfield, he's their top 2 in passing yards, looking good. And of course, rushing yards, we just spoke on it earlier. Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley are 1 and 2 in rushing yards, looking freaking good. Gotta love it. Right now, out of these quarterbacks, because we got Aaron Rodgers top 4 in passing yards. Who is likely to have a better bounce back to the second half of the year? We have Stroud or Aaron Rodgers in the Jets, or Stroud in the because Stroud, albeit the numbers aren't what they were last year. Talking about touchdown interception ratio, and he's just coming off his worst game again, pretty much of his career against the Jets. And they lost that game. Do you see the Texans getting healthy and making a run for a top spot? Or how about those Jets? Which team that you think is has that one last spark in them?
I guess I'll go. Man, that's tough. I want to say, I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I think the Jets because they still haven't put it all together. Aaron Rodgers is talented. You got a good receiving core. You've got a solid running back who's also a great receiving back in Breece Hall. I think that division outside of the Bills is still wide open right now with the way that the Patriots are playing and the way that the Dolphins are playing. So I feel like for me, it's Aaron Rodgers, honestly. I don't know. I just don't know why they can't figure out that problem. I don't know what is wrong with that team that they just can't seem to right that ship somehow.
Yeah, I'll say the Jets too. I agree with everything Jeremy said. I would say the Jets as well. We lost Carlos. Jeremy, who might Buffalo be interested, if anybody, before the trade line? Are y'all looking at anybody? Or
Let's get it, man. Hold on. Nine has said something. Y'all speak about this already? Nine said it has recently been reported that players are designed to trade to Washington. Your thoughts on Teron Dan Quinn has done, and do you think this is actually true? Yes, I think it is true.
What's that was? The trade was what?
For the trade deadline, there are teams that players that actually want to go to Washington. That is very true.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, it's a young team, and like I say, what receiver wouldn't want to play with this kid, man?
Right. I'm loving it, man. But as far as Stroud and Rodgers talk, I got faith in New York. I do. It's not a lot, but as it's been so well written in the Bible, man, so you have a faith of mustard seed. You know, it can grow to something big.
Right.
I got that mustard seed faith in the Jets to make a comeback because they have to. They really do. Like the Texans don't really have to. There's no pressure on Houston, and they're only 6-3. The Jets are what, 3 wins I think in a year. So I don't know, 3 or so. There's a lot of pressure on New York because you got Aaron Rodgers for a reason. You fired the head coach. You got Devontae Adams in there. You have to win and get to the playoffs at least. So
yeah.
But I got a small mustard seed faith in New York, but they're about one more devastating loss for me jumping ship on that squad.
Right.
All right, y'all. Let's get back to the next games now. Our 3:00 games. A pretty good one on paper. It looks like Chicago Bears versus Arizona Cardinals. The question is, which Cardinals team are we going to get? This team, when you ride them off, they win, and when you get on the bandwagon, they lose. So I don't know what's going on in Arizona right now, but I'll go first. Bears, I love their defense. I love their defense. A very unfortunate loss. They could have been easily 6-2 coming to this game, but now they're 5-3. Give me Chicago over Arizona in a low-score matchup once again, but I got Bears to pull it off.
I'm going to go with Arizona. They've been pulling a Houdini out the hat the last few games, man, winning late games. I'm going to take Arizona by 3.
And and you can't go wrong with either pick. I mean, because this is a game that can see both teams winning. But you're right though, Cardinals, man. I mean, they play the Niners, beat San Francisco. Then they play whack team ABC and lose to those guys. It's like, which team are we getting? They beat the Dolphins last week by 1 point, and it's almost like when they play against a team that's like not that good, they just crumble and get blown out. So. It depends on what Arizona Cardinals team. I know what Bears we're getting. We're going to get a team that's going to be relying on that defense. We're going to get a team that's going to, hopefully get Caleb Williams in the last couple weeks besides last week. Last week was horrible stat-wise for him against Washington. But those previous 3 weeks before that, he looked like worthy of being the number 1 overall pick in the draft. So right now we got some folks saying Cardinals win. Nan says it. Cardinals win. The West Stampede says Cardinals wins. Oh, yeah, we all say Cardinals win, huh? Let's get it. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Chicago on that one.
Long Wolf on this one, too.
I guess so, huh? Might as well go with it, huh? Let's keep it rocking and rolling, y'all. Jaguars versus Eagles. He said,
Eagles.
No hope for the Jaguars?
No, man.
Yo, Coach, I want to shout y'all, by the way, wearing the Panthers jersey yet again. Is that Peppers?
That's the Panthers.
Is that Julius Peppers jersey?
That's Peppers. That's correct. That's Peppers. That is correct.
Oh, hey, I gotta love y'all. If y'all don't know, man, every team that the Saints played, Coach got a jersey for the opponents, man. He's got the opponent jersey ready to rock and roll, starched up, ironed up.
There you go.
Let's go. It said Eagles would appear at the end, says Forty the rapper. He ain't playing around. It says Eagles. Yeah, I agree. Eagles. Matter of fact, this is my lock for week 9. Give me Eagles over the Jaguars. I don't see a scenario where the Jaguars win this, and that could be why the Jaguars win, right?
Right.
in today's NFL. But give me the Eagles. I love it. I don't know what's going on in Jacksonville because they got the talent.
Yeah,
they got the quarterback, right? They got the receivers. I think they've got the young defense. They just know how to lose games, Coach. Some teams just know how to lose games. Jaguars are one of them, man. So I don't know, it's gonna be tough, man. But yeah, we're going with Eagles to win that game. Let's keep it rocking and rolling, man. Hey, another good one coming up.
It's a good one now. Yeah.
Rams and Seahawks. Rams off the win against Minnesota, although via controversy, and Seattle fresh off that bad loss they took to the Buffalo Bills, got mollywopped at home too. Geno Smith came out there and said, "Hey, the 12 man don't exist no more. It don't exist," and he's calling out Seahawks fans. Is that legit to call those fans?
No, just because you said that, I'm going with the Rams. I'm picking the Rams in this game. I didn't know that, but since you said that, I'm going with the
Rams. Yo, I'm also going Rams too, Coach.
Yeah,
I'm going Rams too. Look, Stafford has got his boys back. Yeah. He's got Puka. He's got Cooper Kupp as well. He's got Kyler Williams running the football. Rams have a opportunistic defense, right? Seattle with that Geno Smith calling out the Seahawks fans. My thing is, if you play better, you do better.
Right.
If you play better, you do better. The fans are only going to get excited over a good product, right? After the New Orleans Saints. Ticket prices the first game of the year. Dude, that Panthers game week 1, I got tickets for $28 per, right? That next game at home against Philadelphia, tickets was $300. Yeah. Right? So, look, what I'm saying is prices go up when you have a good product. Fans get excited when it's a good product. They get loud, get crazy.
Because right now, you could get Saints in Carolina tickets free.
Man.
With the flight, with the air flight included, they play all the time.
I heard you can call one play call for the team. You know,
that's it.
So I don't like that he caught the fans out on that one. Like, if you play better, they'll be more excited.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Like, if you ain't winning no games, you got their ass whipped by the Bills. I mean, they stumped them, bro. They stumped them bad. Yeah, we got 9 says Rams win a close game. Yeah, I'm gonna say close game as well. I think Seattle has fight. I mean, it's still really good.
They got the 12th man.
They got the 12th man. and no DK Metcalf in this game again, and that's why I really went with them losing this game as well. So, Floyd says Texas Rangers games were at $5 a time, even with the new field. When you have a bad product, people don't want to go there unless the prices are capable of good prices. Right? I mean, Saints, we haven't made it playoffs since Breeze retired. And so, like I said, I went to the NFL game week 1 against Panthers, man. It was $28. Well, we stuck the mud hole in them in the Cowboys. But guess what? The excitement is back. Now tickets skyrocketed, $300. Yeah, that's so. I mean, and they get more excited when you win. So come on, Gino, give out a good product, bro. Give out a good product, and we'll talk. We can talk 12th man all day. Let's keep going now to the NFC North, which currently is the best division. This is the AFC North of last year, pretty much, where there's a potential for all 4 teams to make the playoffs. Will it happen? I'm not quite sure. But let's talk about today's game, right? Lions, Packers. My thing is, Coach, who you got in this game? Lions or Packers, man?
I'm going with Detroit. I'm going with Detroit in this game.
Yeah. Do you think on the road, any chance for the Packers at home to make some noise?
I think the Packers going to give a fight. But the whole thing with the NFC is never the team that goes through the regular season with the best record. It's always a team that gets hot at the end of the season.
Yes.
And that's who I'm trying to see, who that team going to be when we get to about week 12 and 13 and go on that run. It's always a team go on a run in the NFC late. But I think Love is playing. It's gonna be a real good game, though. It's gonna be a real good game to watch, though.
I'm actually going to call this game on my channel, you guys. So come on, Uneducated Sports Talk, 3:15 p.m. Central Time. We're going to call Lions versus Packers. I got the Lions winning this game as well. And I do believe, Love is going to play, but I think the Lions right now are just on cruise control. I mean, that offense has just been phenomenal wherever they go so far this season. Now, you're in Green Bay, a little colder weather outside. I don't know the actual temp in Green Bay, but Packers are at home, and the Lions have played a lot of turf games so far this season, a lot of games on turf. So they do go outside. Let's see if that makes a difference in this game. But right now, I'm just going to go with the Lions win this one. But I agree with you on that hot team. I think Packers could be that team to watch out for towards the end of the year to get hot and and do something. I got that feeling more for the Packers than I do for the Lions, but I have a feeling we'll see these teams again in the playoffs against each other. I got a feeling somewhere down the line, Lions versus Packers, whether it be the NFC Championship or divisional round or whatever. I got a feeling we'll see these two teams again in the playoffs face each other somehow. All right. Oh, life lessons for the Vikings. They lost 2 games in 5 days, which sucks, right? Because they lost against the Lions on Sunday. Backdoor lost to the Rams on that Thursday. Now they had a nice little break because of that Thursday night game. What do you tell Minnesota fans or Minnesota players? We lost 2 in a row, but where's the silver lining for Minnesota to go back to where they were just a couple weeks ago?
I mean, you just got to go back to what you was doing successful for the 2 losses came. I think that's the biggest thing they have to do is go back to what they were doing. But then, I don't know. Is the real Minnesota starting to show up now?
Well,
you know
I
what I'm
say
saying?
this. I mean, the games they lost were close, so they're close games. So it's not like they got blown out. I would tell these guys, look, gentlemen, it happens all the time. We're not going to go undefeated. No one ever goes undefeated besides the 72 Dolphins. We're not going to go undefeated. We're going to take some L's down the road, but it's about how you look while taking the L. I think the Vikings, for the most part, both those games against the Lions and the Rams, they had some good things going on for them. So, wouldn't be no panic in Minnesota if I'm a Vikings coaching staff and players. We got Samuel Wilkinson is in the business. What's up, bro? Dolph, Jackson, Carlos, PJ, good evening, y'all. What's up, Samuel? Good to see you, my guy. Nan says, Coach. He said, Coach Rock will love prevail today. Would have love not live here anymore. Love don't live here anymore. Yeah, we're both going Detroit in this one, but I wouldn't be shocked at all if the Packers found a way to win.
Is that game on TV today, Carlos?
Oh, yeah, yes, sir. Yes,
that's the trip.
It's going to be the America's game of the week. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to call that and watch it. Yeah, we about that. So we just broke down Lions and Packers. Right. So let's go Colts and Vikings now. We just had the conversation about the Colts and, how can they backdoor and get over that 2 straight losses. Well, they have a really good coach team, and we broke down how they shut down Richardson for now and got in Flacco. This is a game to watch. Both these teams, I feel like it's a must-win for both these teams. Vikings don't want to lose 3 in a row, and Colts feel like they have a chance at the playoffs. Who you got in this game, Coach?
I'm going with the Colts. I'm going with the road team. Oh, I'm going to be the lone wolf already. I'm going with the Colts in this one, baby.
Yo, I like that, though. I like that. I'm going Vikings. I'm going Minnesota. But I'm with you as far as I won't be shocked because one is Joe Flacco. And we know what he could do with this team the last couple of years with the Browns team and Colts team. And they're never out of a game. Joe Flacco, for some reason, he's just risen from the dead and trying to change his franchise around. And look, we had this conversation last week, I believe, when I broke down the Dolphins and their inability to get a backup quarterback that's suitable for your offense, or just anyone that's just competent at the position, right? That can backfire a team 4 or 5 games if they don't get that backup quarterback right. The coach made it their mission, knowing we have maybe an injury-prone young quarterback. Let's go out there and get a Joe Flacco. And Flacco come out there and win you 2, 3, 4 games. Now you're hoping that Flacco can win you games to go to the playoffs this year. So I'm going Vikings because their offense, man, once they get going, man, Jefferson is just a handful. But wouldn't be shocked that coach defense kind of puts the Vikings on ice a little bit. So I let you lone wolf for coach. He did the lone wolf already. Let's get it, man.
Yeah.
We got Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football. Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs. Unfortunately, Coach,
I don't think this is going to be close either.
Yeah, I want to get your thoughts on this, man.
I don't think it's going to be close. I mean, Tampa Bay lost both of their top.
Yeah, I want to ask you that question. All right.
That's tough.
You're in the situation, and I get it. Never give up, never die mentality. They're down 10 points. They're at their own 15-yard line, the Buccaneers, whatever. There's 43 seconds left. Would you have already thrown the towel and just ran?
Yeah.
Or would you try and get something?
No, I'd have threw the towel when we just get ready for next week. That game was over.
Yeah,
that game was over.
I agree with you, but I also understand that the concept of anything can happen. 43 seconds, but there was no timeouts. You're on your own 15-yard line. You got to score two scores. You got to get an onside kick. You got just too many variables. I'm not mad at them. This could have been a 3-score game, and I'm pissed. But a 2-score game, I can't get all the way mad on that situation. But very unfortunate to lose. And I think is Evans out for the year, right? That was like a torn hamstring. Yeah. And it was crazy because he was questionable and almost on the doubtful list before the game started, but he wound up practicing and said he could do it, man. And that's just very unfortunate for Tampa Bay. You're right, though, Coach. I think the Chiefs win, and this could be their – besides that win over the Saints, this could be another one of those games, right, where they just like they don't score. They probably scored 24 points in this game, but it's just mollywhopping, guys. I'm with you on that. Chiefs win. I got 24-9 Kansas City, but it won't even be close per se. But it's very unfortunate for Tampa Bay because they had a good thing going on, and now it feels like it is the Falcons' division to lose.
But I think they really have to make a move on this trade deadline to get a receiver. I think Tampa Bay has to be a team that's making calls to see what receivers out there via the trade deadline coming up.
No, I agree on that because they're still above 500. There's still hope, but you lose your 2 best receivers on the same day. That is, geez, I don't know. I feel like we're missing a game, so I'm gonna just go back and see we're missing a game on there. Make sure it was all love. No, we're good. It's not that many games on the schedule this week. It feels like there's a lot of teams on bye, man. All right, Coach. I'm going to send it off to you now, Coach, because we gotta get our coach's corner right fast. So and in a few seconds, Coach, speak your mind, brother. All right, Coach, the corner is yours, man. What's good with it, man? What's your thoughts, baby?
We got this guy here was an 8-time NBA All-Star, NBA All-Star second team, 2001, 2-time NBA third team, 4-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year, 3-time NBA All Defensive Team, 3-time NBA All Defensive Second Team. And this morning, we just want to give a shout out to, we just lost this guy, Dikembe Mutombo, man. Dikembe was, he played 18 seasons in the National Basketball Association, nicknamed Mount Mutombo for his defensive prowess. He's commonly regarded as one of the greatest shot blockers and defensive players of all time. Outside of basketball, he was known for his humanitarian work. So shout out this morning to none other than the late, great Dikembe Mutombo, man.
But I'm glad you mentioned that because I don't think it was enough love for Dikembe when he did pass away. It wasn't a lot of talk on it. So I'm glad that you, I know it's been a few weeks now, y'all, but still glad to hear that, man, because he was one of the greatest, man. And, of course, like you said, what he did for his community and his folks out there back in Africa, man, I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah, so, man.
And he was young. I didn't know he was still that young.
Yeah.
He was still in his 50s. I didn't know that.
Great person, man. Great person.
Yeah. So, but thank you for that. I appreciate that, man. That's Coach's Corner with Coach Rock, y'all. And sometimes it ain't got about football. It's just whatever Coach think about, man.
Right.
So I can notice go to Mutombo and his family as well because great player and even a better person.
Yeah.
From what I've heard from everyone. So yeah. All right, Coach. All right, let's talk about who do you think? You know what? I want you to give a pep talk, right? A pep talk. We need a pep talk to, I don't care what team, I don't care what player, I don't care if organization, coach. If you had a pep talk for a week 9 person, player, whatever, who's it going to be? Hold on. Who you got, Coach? Who we looking at right now for
my
pep talk?
goes to none other than the owner of the New Orleans Saints, Miss Gail Benson. Miss Benson, you have a GM that comes to the podium and saying winning and losing is not the results of what's going on. You have a coach that has never won. Fire both of them early this afternoon. Soon as the Carolina, I don't care if they win or lose. Fire Dennis Allen, fire Mickey Loomis, and let's get this thing going right. The New Orleans Saints organization deserve better than what they're getting. These people have been loyal to you since your husband passed and since to this organization to 1967. It is time to go in a new direction, change the culture of this Saints organization, and put the Saints back to where they need to be and dominate. Gail Benson, my pep talk is to you. Fire the GM and the coach this afternoon after the game.
Hey, my speech. I'm talking to you, Cincinnati Bengals organization. If you want to be known for winning playoff games when you're healthy, this is the game right here against Las Vegas. You have got to dominate, not just win. You've got to dominate this game to bring back the hope that you have for this year, because right now, people, including myself, saying your window was only 2 or 3 years and you didn't capitalize on it. That's right, Eli. Tell them they better get it in today, because if they do not, your season is done.
Oh, yeah.
Your season is over, Cincinnati. It's done. So I'm talking to you, Joe Burrow. I am talking to you, the defense. I'm talking to you, the running game. I'm talking to you guys, head coach Zach Taylor. Get your team together right now, because if you mess up against Las Vegas, your season's over with. So let's get it. Let's get it. Balls to the wall. We are not the Bengals of old. We are the Bengals of new, which we know when we're healthy, we're one of the best teams to play in the AFC. Let's get it, man. So that's my pep talk right there for the freaking Bengals, man. Jesus.
Got it.
But I like to talk to the Saints, man. We got to get together, dog.
Yeah.
We are. It's almost like a laughing stock right now.
Yeah.
You're seeing teams pull the plug. Although I thought Salah's firing was uncalled for, but the Jets still made a move. They said, "Look, let's do something." And
I mean, it wasn't just the thing. It was what Mickey Loomis said. It's not.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That blew my mind for a GM to say that, man. that blew my mind, and for the owner not to rebuttal back on that. Well, what the hell is it about?
Thank you. What's it about? What is it about, man? And you kind of wonder if there's nobody else that's surrounding Miss Benson.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Who is yanking her, or is she letting the GM just play that role without any consequences? That's what it feels like. Yeah.
Yeah. He has nobody that he has to answer to.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
It feels like it's that kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that. All right, let's get down as a little man. He can get a little calm down. Hey, calm down, brother. We got this, man. Speaking of, we got this. Coach, no butt showing. What do you think, man? Get out of here. Let's go. Hey, what's the game you're looking forward to for week 9? What's the most anticipated game you're looking forward to?
The game, the 3 o'clock game, man. The Detroit Lions, when we talk about straight ballers, the Detroit Lions defense, I need to see you the ball today. You have been called the best team in the NFL now. I need to see your defense step up on the road and make a statement today. The Detroit Green Bay game.
Yo, I actually agree with that. That's my most I want to see that game too, because I want to see Detroit on the road in this territory on the grass.
Right.
I feel like every damn game they play is on turf and very fast, and they have a very fast offense. Now let's see, can you put your boots to the ground and run Montgomery? I think it's more of a Montgomery game than a Gibbs game in this particular matchup. But also want to see what we got going on with Jordan Love. It is announced he is going to play. Right. So my thing is, what are you going to bring to the table? Because this is basically, if you win this game, you're going to have, I think, the lead. Matter of fact, if the Packers win this game, they'll be ahead of the NFC North. where it is going to be like JR said, a slobber knocker. So it's going to be a very, very, very tough, game for both teams. But I'm very, very excited, man. All right.
I'll tell you this too, Carlos. This is a statement game for Aaron Glenn to become a head coach.
Yes.
This is a statement game for him, man, to be on the road in a hostile environment with this defense and make a statement.
No, I agree with you, Coach. I certainly agree with you on that one. And I'm also excited to see. Chicago against Arizona, how they bounce back from that L. I want to see if you really about that life. Will you take Arizona seriously? Because right now, every time someone is just kind of holding back against Arizona, they're beating those teams, man. Arizona, So I want to see Chicago. Can you bounce back from that L you took? So NFC North is going to be on display, in my opinion, for Week 9.
Yeah.
All right. I was trying to find the straight baller video, but I can't find it. So
I gave it already. That Detroit defense today. That's my baller.
Oh, that's your straight baller?
That's my straight baller. That defense got to show me something today.
Oh, I got you, man. My straight baller, I'm going. There you go. So coach going with the Lions defense. Straight balling, huh? I like that. I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons backfield. As much as it pains me to say that. Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, they're gonna dominate Dallas in this game. I got a feeling. I think both guys get 80 plus rushing yards, both guys. So I got the Atlanta Falcons straight balling for week number 9. And behind the scenes, why is it called Black and White Old Movie Silent, dog? why is it not called straight balling? We're going behind the scenes, y'all. I'm trying to find the video. It says Black and White Old Movie.
That's Dolph. That's him. That's him.
Edit the title, man.
Gunsmoke. I'm start calling him Gunsmoke.
Hey, Coach, I don't see you sipping on them, Coach. You good today?
Yeah, I'm about to. I'm about to, man. I just got done doing everything. I'm about to. I'm on this recliner now.
All right, yeah. Well, look, Coach Rob, I can drink on. I am as well. I get my parent on as well. Hey, it's gonna be a great week now. You guys sit back and relax. See you guys next week for our Week 10 preview from Nfl Turns presented by the Come On In Sports Network. Please hit that like button for the stream, and of course, subscribe to the hottest sports channel on YouTube, y'all. Keep it rock and roll. So thank y'all for the subscription y'all already. I've got like 2 subscribers already for this channel, for this stream. So thank y'all for that, and keep hitting that like button. And much love to you. So for the homeboy, Coach Rock. And of course, we had Jimmy from the Stampede. I am your host, Carlos Clayton, and this has been another episode of Nfl Turns presented by the Come On In Sports Network. All sports fans, have a great, great, great night. We'll see you guys next week.
Next week.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Peace.